Joy Guru, my respected viewers, I am Amalendu Chatterjee, you know me, and by this time you have known that I am a humble disciple of Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra. Some of you have wanted to know as to what prompted me to take initiation by the holy name of Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra. I think this is high time that I need to answer. At the outset, I must say that I am not too sure whether the selection of one's spiritual guide or master is predestined or not. If it is not predestined, then I think it all happens by the sheer grace of that particular spiritual guru or spiritual mentor or spiritual guide. At least in my case, either the first reason or the former reason or both are true. Well, my native village is in Birbhum district of West Bengal. My village was more or less 150 kilometers away from Devghar Dham. You know, Devghar Dham, Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra came to stay at Devghar Dham on 1946. He left his mortal being on 1969. So therefore, he was staying there for more than 22 years. Now, for a village boy like me, visiting Devghar, and that too, since my family was an orthodox family, it was a distant dream. But then, one day, my father took an unprecedented decision. And in this connection, I must say that my father never ever had toured more than 20 kilometers away from the circumference of our village. And not only that, he was a bit scared to tour elsewhere. But then one day he took, I think on 1967 or so, he took an unprecedented decision. He wanted to visit Bodhanath Dham. You know, it is the pilgrimage where the statue of Lord, not statue, where I think Lord Shiva, the Lord Shiva is installed there. And my brother went with my parents. And you see, at Bodhanath Dham, while we were visiting Bodhanath Dham, a person met my father. He was a disciple of Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra. He suggested my father to stay at Devghar, as he said that it was all 3 days free food and lodging. I don't know exactly why, but however, we decided to go there. And while we entered into the Boral Bungalow, you know, the building where Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra was staying, while entering into the Boral Bungalow, we were literally immersed in an ocean of people. For almost half an hour, I could not even fathom as to why we have come here. But gradually, I came to understand that, you see, this huge gathering, I should say, every person was eagerly waiting for having a glimpse of a particular person whom they were calling as Thakur. You see, but then I must say that the gathering was a very disciplined gathering. Such a huge gathering, but such a disciplined gathering, I never have come across till date, I must say. But then when I saw him, then I must say that he was a person with a difference. Anyone can differentiate him among crores of people. That was for sure. And I saw that he was wearing a white dhoti, and the upper portion was bare, and a white sacred thread was hanging from his shoulder. And he was in folded hands, and he was in, I should say, his eyes were half closed, I should say. And so the persons who were around there, they were talking that he was praying to the Supreme Father for us. At that particular age, I could not understand about anything about Supreme Father or like that. So therefore, I understood that somebody was beyond him, that is Supreme Father. But now I am sure that, you see, he is the Supreme Father. I do not know about Supreme Father, that's for sure, but whoever may be present as Supreme Father, I do not know, but I do not know anything beyond him. If he is not Supreme Father, I wish that no one should be Supreme Father, for me at least. Well then, you see, then we stayed there for almost 3 days actually. And off and on, I ran to him, because around him a fence was there, made up of bamboos, but the space, or you can say the gap between the two bamboos were enough to pass me, a boy of almost 10 to 11 years. And you see, nobody objected me to come to him, to come close to him. Nobody objected me. This I can still remember. And you see, when I saw, I was so close to him, I saw that he, for a moment actually, casted his eyes towards me for a very few moments, and this I can still remember, and not much more than this. And then, as I have already stated, that we stayed there for 3 days. So therefore, for three days, I saw him, and you see, it was for sure that he was a person par excellence. Everybody, you see, even when at that point of time, I was a mere child, but still, you see, the impression, I should say, that was impregnated within my mind is that he was a man with a difference. Now, after the visit, I should say, we returned to our native village, and for almost 20 years or so, I didn't hear anything much about him. You see, and meanwhile, I completed my study, and I got a service of professorship in a central Calcutta. And in this respect, I must say, I think that I got this service of professorship by his sheer grace. It's a personal, I should say, it is my personal opinion. And then, you see, I used to go to my college by train, and my destination was Sialda station. And from Sialda station, my college is almost a 2 minutes walk, I should say. And then I see, in this connection, I would like to say that it is a reality that when people get down from train, they become suddenly speedy to pass that station at least. You see, and I was infected by that disease, if I may say so. Anyway, one day while I got down from a train at Sialda station, and I was passing through the station, I was also walking hurriedly. But then on that particular day, a vendor arranged a shop of picture, and a picture drew my attention, and I stopped there. In other words, that picture stopped me abruptly, and that picture was none other than Sri Thakur Anukul Chatterjee. And you see, immediately, and the picture was so alive that for a few moments, I thought that I was in Devghar Dham, and I was almost 10 to 11 years boy. And even, I should say, a few minutes, I was completely mesmerized by that particular picture, as if he was intensely gazing towards me. And then that particular picture spoke volumes, which I cannot even say at this moment. And that particular, incident compelled me to go a nearby studio to get that particular photograph. And the shop owner of that particular studio, however, after vigorous searching, he got a photograph of that particular position, That is, he was in folded hands, and his eyes were half closed, and he was praying to the Supreme Father for us. The picture that I saw, exactly the same picture, actually the same picture which I saw at Devghar Dham when he was alive, you see, in his body. And then, you see, I purchased that photograph, and then I installed that picture in my house. And subsequent events, I should say, were affected, I should say, very quickly. You see, one Sagor Bera, he was an accountant of our college. He was a disciple of Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra. I knew that, but I was not much interested. So therefore, I didn't have much, or you can say, I didn't have any conversation regarding this with him. But after installing that picture in my house, one day while I was conversing with him about Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra, he immediately requested me actually to take initiation by the holy name of Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra from a Vipra Ritik whom he knew. And I was not much interested, I must say. I said, it's no, I should say, I must say it, I must confess it, I should say. I must confess it that I was not much interested, but that Sagor Bera, I am indebted to him immensely for his, I should say, for his interest, for his, I should say, relentless trying, relentless, I should say, endeavor to make me initiated. You see, one day he arranged everything on my behalf, and he called me to go to that particular Ritik. Ritik is the person who is endowed to give initiation on his behalf, that is on the behalf of Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra. He actually, you see, he made a system of Ritik system, through which he actually initiated people through Ritiks. The same system is still going on. And in this connection, I must say that it is stated that Ritik system was in vogue even during the time of Lord Sri Krishna. Anyway, so therefore, I got initiated by that particular Vipra Ritik. And I should say, in conclusion, I should say, I would like to say that I am just a witness, I should say, or you can say, I am just a witness of all the episodes that have happened, you see, one after another, and everything by the grace of God. Rather, he had arranged everything, and I still believe that whatever is happening around me is I should say all these are, all these are affected by the sheer grace of my mentor or of my Sadguru, Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra. I am just a witness, nothing more, nothing less, I should say. Still, you see, I must say it because after taking initiation, you see, while I was reading his books, see, it was as if you can say I got the glimpse of the life philosophy of Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra. And in course of time, I am a Ritik now, and you see, I am stating something about him. Actually, you can say I am giving lecture. You can say nowadays I give lectures about the life philosophy of Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra. This is really amazing to me, even not to others. See, I should say there are two terms in spiritualism. One is Sasang Veddu, means that is the sensation that is realized by the self, and another is Parasang Veddu, that is sensation not realized by the self but realized by others. See, I can realize what is Sangsang Veddu, that is what is realized by self. By this way, I can say that yes, the life philosophy of Sri Thakur, I have understood a little bit of the life philosophy of Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra. I must say that I am thankful to him. I must say that I am so rich by understanding the life philosophy of Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra. That's for sure. So for this only I am indebted to him. And now, you see, I think my life has changed completely by the, you can say, by the life philosophy of Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra. This is my, you can say, Sang Baddu, that is realized by the self. And the people who were around and who are still around me, they also speak about this, that you are a very changed man. I do not know why, I do not know whether I am really a changed man or not. But one thing I can say, that yes, my life is now is being run by the life philosophy of Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra, at least to a certain extent. For example, I can give an example. The earlierly, if I saw, let's say, if I rather earlierly, I used to beat mosquitoes, or I used to beat flies, or I used to beat, let's say, ants or like that. But now I cannot, because Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra stated that it's not proper. If you value your own life, then you must give value the life of others. This is just an example to tell you that how, see, lifestyle, I should say, in other words, the life philosophy of myself has changed a little bit, at least a little bit. I am not claiming something much. I am not claiming something big. I am not claiming that I have completely changed my life by the life philosophy of Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra. Not at all. Not the least. But what I want to say, that whatever I am today is because of him. In other words, I am just a witness, nothing more, nothing nothing less. This much I can say. So, live in love. Joy.